Hello? Oh!
That's really loud.
I think. I don't know what's going on, but the settings changed. Let me try. I have no idea what's going on. But the settings changed while I wasn't streaming. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on.
Hello. I'm currently trying to fix my audio. I think this is better than just now, but it is very muted, I think. I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll proceed with this one rather than have like a bunch of background noise. Oh, good morning to you too. It's night here though, so it's not really morning for me. But yeah, good morning. I hope you have a good day. I'm oh, so it's like dawn instead of morning then. It's like 2:03 a.m. It's like 9 here because I usually do start my streams at 9. So yeah. Hold on, let me mute myself so I don't think too much. I'm working on my 1/100 custom Gundam. Oh, that sounds so fun. I'm actually working on my MG. So today I was going to continue my Dynamis, which let me show you guys. So this is my Dynamis, and we had a little hiccup with the arm like rubber situation. So I kind of stopped like this last week, and I'm still trying to fix this. But then I remembered that I have my Qubeley MG that I wanted to customize. So I want to finish that off tonight rather than like try to find time another day. So the Qubeley MG is actually like already almost done. It's just like one leg and the little kneecaps and then also like the um, weapons. But this is gonna take me quite a while because I'm going to sand each of the parts down. So yeah, I have that one. I'm using the sniper from Dynamis. Oh, that sounds fun. What is? Are you making the base from that Gundam, or are you just using the weapons from that one? Also, let me change the view so we can get started building. So yeah, let me move my friggin' mouse out the friggin' way. The cable, like, I think it's because it's pretty, what's it called, long, that it just doesn't want to cooperate with me. But yeah, so usually when I'm streaming, I don't usually do a lot of sanding, or I tend to do like clear Gundams where I don't need to sand too much. But I am trying to finish this project, because I'm hoping to use it in this year's Gundam Builders World Championship thing. So I've been meaning to get a get a hold of this like project. Oh shit, what the hell? I think there's like a complete lag on my end. I don't know. So anyways, yeah. Oh, hello, welcome. Welcome to my stream. Thank you for joining. even though you don't have a lot of time. Also, I think I need to hide this like under the mat. But anyways, yeah. So let's get started. And if you wanted to know, I'm doing my Qubeley instead of the Dynamis today. So there's that. I was gonna do the Dynamis, but the Qubeley is like almost done, and I need it to be done sooner rather than later, because I want to move on to the panel lining. So I need to scribe in some new panel lines because I'll be using this for this year's competition, the Gunpla Builders competition thing. And well, at least I'm hoping to use it for this year's competition if I have time. If I don't have time, then I'm probably not going to enter. I'll just go there to have fun and stuff. I know it's not like announced yet, but better early than sorry, I guess. So yeah, I'm doing it like straight build for now. I haven't kind of what's it called? I haven't continued it from like last year. So last year after the competition ended, like the Gunpla Builders World Cup or Championship ended last year for 2022, I already knew I wanted to use the Qubeley MG for the next competition, but I I started it then, but I haven't actually been able to continue it. So I've been kind of putting it off a little bit because I've been so busy with my other stuff that this just has really slipped my mind. So we're gonna continue it today to make sure that we actually do finish something in time. And yeah, it's because I'm always sick and busy. So if I'm not sick, I'm busy with work, and then when I'm not busy with work, it's because I'm sick. So there's that, I guess. I think I think I need to find a better angle cuz I think I'm covering everything. I think this is better. Let's try it. Is it? Yeah, okay, this is more visible, so we'll do it this way. But yeah. So hopefully I can finish this but in time when it's announced I'll be like at least 99% done, or like if it's not gonna be this year then I'll join the next year's that's coming up. But yeah, I really do hope that I can finish this build cuz I'm working on it quite a lot, like quite hard for the past few days now to catch up on what I've been what's it called? What I've been putting off. Yes, I'm going to paint it, and also like I'm gonna custom it a bit with like the panel lines, I think, cause I want to customize it, but I also want to keep the essence of the Qubeley like intact, and also I don't think I have enough time to customize it like crazily, so I'm gonna keep it quite simple. I'm gonna customize it, I think, with not much, maybe like adding a little bit panel lines here and there, maybe sharpening a few edges. I'm not sure, but I'm not planning to customize it in a crazy way, just like a subtle way. And then I'm gonna repaint it with whatever I think I like, because I haven't gone and seen paints, so I'll have to go and look. I'm not sure if I'll be using plot plates, maybe, but I don't really have that much experience using plot plates, to be honest. I've only used them like once, I think, and that's not even like a I think I think I kind of scrapped it instead afterwards. So I think I ended up just using like pre pre-sold Gundam parts, like you know, like those vents or something that you can buy online or at like a toy store, but like Bandai ones. So I use mostly something like that to complete my last uh custom build, but that one was like a lot of work in the span of 2 weeks. So that's why I kind of like shortcut it halfway through because I knew I wasn't gonna finish if not. So yeah, but I don't know about this one. We'll see. I'm hoping to make it better than last year and a lot a lot neater than last year, especially because I'm also going to be like adding panel lines to this one, right? Adding extra panel lines. So hopefully they look better than last year's panel lines. Sorry, I uh haven't really built any other Gundams outside of the stream lately other than this one. And I got the MGSD, which I've been wanting to build for a while now, but I haven't had the time to touch it. So maybe after this, that's the one I'm going to like work on. Did I get a gravity feed airbrush? I think so. Uh, it wasn't me who got the airbrush. Someone else bought an airbrush for me, but I think it's the correct one. I'm pretty sure it's the correct one. So hopefully it will do a lot better than my old airbrush. But it was also kind of like not too expensive, so I don't know if it's of better quality or anything. I think there was a cat just now. I think so. I think the cup is on the top. I'm pretty sure the cup is on the top, but I'm not 100% sure. So, cuz I don't remember. I've seen it once and then after that I haven't seen it again because I've been busy doing other things like my Warhammer stuff. I hold on. Oh no, my nail. Okay. So if you don't know, I updated on Instagram. I like painted a miniature, and that one was like the bigger miniature, which is like a centerpiece, which is more Rathi in case you know which one I'm talking about. So Morathi is from Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and I painted that one. Okay, I think my kids are feeling playful. So I painted that one, and I've been kind of, ow, immersed in that project, so I haven't really paid attention to anything else. And for that kind of models, I usually hand paint everything, so like, yeah. Remember, if you need, you can always ask me for help. Of course, I will ask you if I need anything. It's just that I haven't really had the chance to think about anything else. Cause like I've been busy with that one project. Like I've been kind of focusing on it because it's been kind of fun doing painting that one. It's like a challenge because it's got a lot of details, and there were like a few things that I couldn't like. I didn't have like the paint that was already done, so like I had to figure out how to get that color or that finish that I wanted. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun painting my miniatures. I have no idea how to get this out, but I think we have to use this cuz oh, but that's gonna dent it. Uh, um think I think that this should be in like the right place, but I don't know how to make sure cuz I need to snap it together. Hold on. Did not have this much trouble taking this off the other day. Ow! That's really sharp. That's really sharp. Okay, there we go. That's completely off now. Cause I'm doing this because I can't take this off, like off of the bottom part. So yeah, I know this looks wrong. And yes, I did post it on my Instagram. So if you wanted to see that project, you can totally see that now. It's my latest post should be. Um, Morathi is like a half snake, half human creature thing with wings. Um, there's lore tied behind her, but I'm not quite sure about the lore because I didn't read on it. It's not really in my army. It's not like in my core army. It's in one of my armies, but it's not my core one. So I only painted her first because I got like the inspiration to do something like Medusa for her, since she looks kind of like Medusa. She's got snake for hair. So I was like, yeah, I want to do like a Medusa color scheme. So that's how I decided to paint her. Sure. Oh, you didn't show on your feed? Maybe. Yo, kids. Anyways, maybe it's because like I don't know. Some people's stuff also don't show up on my feed. I have to like rummage through and find it. Okay, finally it can close. So yeah, I think this thing where I like poke myself is pretty. That hurt a lot. Anyways, so this is the first part. So I'm gonna find F now. There's two F's. So I need the one that's more complete because we already used the other one for the first foot. I need to like. Okay. Okay, sorry. I needed to burp. Anyways, so yeah. So I've been busy with that project, I think. And then the other times that I haven't really built this Gundam is kind of, what's it called? Kind of just doing other things, which is not actually projects. You're doing a pirate ship? Is it not snap-fit? Is it like Warhammer models where you have to cement them down? Because Warhammer models you gotta cement down as well, right? So it's not usually that like easy slash quick to build. Where's the other? I know that there's three points of contact just now. Or I guess if I can't see it, it's fine. Okay, and then we want PC. So you do have to glue and cement everything. So yeah, Warhammer's the same. So I haven't really been having fun building it because I do prefer everything snap fitted. But I mean, I don't really build all my models myself. Sometimes I get help, so I don't really mind it as much, I guess. I do prefer building Gundams. They're a lot easier to build. Like they're a lot nicer to build. And also like it's a lot more forgiving when it comes to like painting because you can take shit apart. So if you can take everything apart, then everything's fine, you know? But like if you can't take anything apart, then that's an issue. Okay, so I think this one goes this side. Yeah. Eh? No, it doesn't. It's on this side. And this one's on this side. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna put that there. And then this one is on that side. Then I think it's that way, right? Yeah. Okay, so we can and then this one goes. Is it? No, it's that way. Yeah, it's that way. And then here we go. Warhammer is like 3 to 20 pieces. 90 pieces just for the cannons. That's true. I think for Warhammer, my main issue when building it is the connection points, honestly, and also like finding the part itself is an actual task, like an actual job. And then like for the connection pieces, usually like if it's a hand where the character is like holding your thing like this, the connection point is on the wrist and it's like only like one little like tube. So it's kind of flimsy. I don't really like the flimsiness of it all. Okay, so I'm gonna sand this down. Since this is a project for like the okay, I will have fun with work, maybe. Next, I barely hear you. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the mic today. Like, it's either this or it's way too loud with like a lot of background noise. So I opted for the slightly too small one. I'm speaking a lot louder than usual so that you guys can still hear me, but I don't know if that's working. Hopefully you can hear me well enough at least. So yeah. So in case you didn't know, we're building my hopefully Gunpla Builders World Cup slash Championship entry. So I'm gonna sand everything down, unlike usual, because for this one, this is for competition and stuff, and I have to put more love and effort into it. So yeah. Am I okay? Yeah, I am okay. Why'd you ask? Uh, I had a lot of fried stuff earlier because I ate fried chicken and whatnot. Fried chicken with the sauce and stuff, so it's not it's pretty bad for my throat. So that's why if you hear me go like clear my throat often, that's why. Okay. So yeah, that's what's going on, I guess. If you're wondering if I'm okay because of the small voice, it's because of the mic. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know why the settings just changed by itself. Uh yeah, I have no idea why. And like earlier I could hear through the headphones what my computer was like outputting. So I don't actually know what's going on with my PC today. It's just kind of weird. I don't know how to fix it either. So what we're like gonna just do mainly today is honestly sand everything down. This is what's going to take me forever because sanding things down is not only the thing that I kind of don't like when I build, but like I want it to be perfect and smooth. So we're gonna sand it down to at least near perfection. Even if it doesn't look it, at least I want it to feel smooth because you can always cover imperfections that you can see with paint and stuff like that, but I can't cover the imperfections that you can feel with your fingers. So, yeah, I'm gonna put in a lot more effort than I usually do into this. Because not only is it like a competition piece, this is also like one of my favorite Gundams. So, I'm gonna do it justice and hope that it looks frigging amazing at the end of it. Because I'm gonna have to customize this, and I'm actually honestly a little bit scared of customizing it because I'm scared of messing it up because it already looks like pretty decent, right? As a Gundam in itself, like as the mecha in itself, it looks pretty decent, and I don't want to mess it up. But I do want to try and improve it, so hopefully it will look better than when I first started, you know? So yeah, hopefully this is going to be a very good and successful project. Honestly, I hate sanding parts that I can't grasp, so having this being the foot is pretty nice because it's pretty easy to grip onto. Okay, so we're almost done sanding everything down. We're gonna go up to 2000 grits. In case you didn't know, for this one I'm starting at 600 for most of it. Well, not most of it, some of it. Like, if it's still a bit rough, I'm gonna start at 600 and then go up to 800. Or if it's not too rough, I'll start at 800 and then go to 1000. Or if it's like just already pretty smooth and I just want to buff it out a bit, then I'll start at 1000. Then after that, we'll go to 1200 and then 1500 and then 2000, which is what we're at now, and then 2500, which is the last grid that we have here. So it's this one. So yeah, we're going to just make sure everything shiny and polished so that when I paint it, everything will look great and uniformed. I'm hoping that the painted version of this is going to look really good because I'm changing the colors slightly, so I hope it looks nice. I didn't make a mock-up of it to test out colors and stuff because I didn't think I'm like going to have time to do that. So we're gonna have to trust the process and hope that it looks great. So yeah, we have the leg, the inner mechanisms of the leg. So we're going to do the outside now. So I think I gave, I think I poked my thumb quite a lot. It hurts a bit. So anyways, we're gonna look for D, which should be up here. I don't know where it is. I think it's this. Yeah, okay, so D. And then we want 7 and 8, which is the only two left, supposedly, right? Yeah. Sorry. So this is 7 and 8, and we're gonna do it this way. So I'm cutting this out and then like right away building it per section because I want to do this one like borderline perfectly. So that's why it's gonna be a bit slow because I need it to look damn good because I am entering it in a competition, right? So if it doesn't look great, if it doesn't look great, then I feel like I shouldn't even try, you know? So yeah. But I am a perfectionist, so like, I mean, you should just do what makes you happy. For me, that's getting everything like perfect. So so usually for like Gundams like this, if I'm not building it for competition or something like that, usually I just like clean it up with another nipper or like a pen knife or something. And then after that, I just put it together. If you can't see the nut marks, then that's fine. But since I'm doing this and hopefully making this like really, really pretty, right? Then I'm going to put a lot of effort into making sure all the nut marks are pretty much clean and gone from the build. So yeah, that's why this is taking so long. It's taking forever. I know, but I do want it to look perfect. So like at least borderline perfect, or at least perfect to me. So we're going to take a very, very long time on each of these parts. So I'm gonna start with 600 on this because it's a bit rough. The nub marks are also quite stubborn looking. So I'm gonna make sure that they're completely gone. So we're gonna start at 600 for this one. I do think it's not gonna look that way because it's white, but if I can feel it, that means it's a bit rough. Because usually I cut it pretty cleanly, so we're gonna make sure that it doesn't look, or at least it doesn't feel like there are nub marks. Hopefully I'm doing that well enough, because I hope that this will be like really smooth to the touch and also really clean looking, because that's the goal for this one. I really want this to look really good because I really want to do the Qubeley justice. I really like the Qubeley, so being my favorite Gundam, I'm gonna do it. Hopefully, I'm gonna do it justice. Hopefully, it's gonna look good after all the customing, all the panel lining, and all the custom painting. So maybe I'm not sure, but like hopefully I picked the right colors because I'm not deviating too much from this, like the original color scheme. But I am going to be repainting it with different colors, right? So hopefully I am going to like the finish a lot more and also the colors a lot more than I do now. Cause I like the colors, but I'm not the biggest fan of the current like Qubeley colors. Like I'm not really. I don't know. I don't really like the blue, and also like everything else is kind of. I don't know. To me, it feels. I like the pink and the purple, but it feels slightly generic. But my biggest peeve is the blue. I really don't like the sudden blue on the Qubeley. So hopefully we can fix that with the paint job later. Like hopefully what I have in mind is going to look better, at least in my eyes, cause this is for me anyway. So hopefully it looks nice. So yeah. Also, I'm sorry if you're here. If you want to see the Dynames, but I have this thing that I need to do. So we're going to finish this project first, so we can do the Dynames next week, maybe. Yeah, we can finish up the Dynames next week. So we're gonna finish this up first this week so that we don't have to think about building this again. I can just focus on customizing it after this and then do other things, so that we can complete the Dynamis next week. I still haven't fixed the arm completely as well for the Dynamis, so I'm gonna try and fix it later. So yeah, I really hope this looks great, honestly. Also, how are you guys? I don't know if this is a thing elsewhere, but it's kind of like a long holiday here. So it's yesterday was a public holiday, and today I think it's like an optional holiday. I'm not sure if it is, but I got the day off anyways. So it's a very long weekend for us. What about outside? Are you guys also having long weekends, or is it just us? Or how is your week in general, maybe? My week was like pretty normal, honestly. Yesterday I had my cousins come over and we had a sleepover and we painted a lot of Warhammer minis, so that was fun. And they're leaving today, so they already left actually. But yeah, we were painting Warhammer models right before I started streaming, so that was fun. They're doing their own armies. I think one is a Thousand Suns, and then I forgot the other one with what they were making. I think it was like, I think it's Space Marines or something. I think it is Space Marines. But yeah, and I painted my Morathi. So if you didn't know, you can check out my Instagram, which is like linked above me. You can, or like in my panels. So you can see the results of my Morathi on my Instagram page or on my Facebook. You can also find it on my Facebook, but I don't know if you'll be able to find me on Facebook because I don't know, it's really hard to find me. I did a search for my own Facebook account and I couldn't find it, so there's that. So let's continue this, I guess. This is taking me so long. I didn't realize that sanding took me like 10 minutes per like section of the box. Like for number 15, it's taking me at least like 15 minutes to sand down all the parts. I did not realize it would take me this long because I thought that this would be kind of quick. Not not as it's not as long, I guess, than I think maybe usually, because usually I get distracted by the TV because I do this like while I'm watching something, so I don't get too bored. And then I just keep sanding down because I'm distracted by what's going on the TV. But since I'm building it here, there's not too much of a distraction going on with that, like on that regard. Oops. So yeah. Oh wait, did I do the 1000 on this? I hope so. I think so, right? I mean, I don't know, man. I hope so. So let's clean all of the surfaces up so that it'll be shiny and polished. Hopefully it'll look better, because there's like some nub mark-ish looking things left. I don't really like that, but hopefully it'll look better after a bit. So sorry about my voice. It's a bit sore just cuz I just ate some fried stuff. So yeah. Okay. Usually when I'm doing this like by myself without streaming, I do this like per piece. So I go through all the grits on one piece and then I move on to the next with all the grits again. But I feel like this would be more what's it called? Efficient. So we're doing it this way today. But yeah. This is not always how I do it, and like sometimes I deviate completely how I do things when I'm alone and when I'm on stream. So Yeah, but I don't know. It's so far it's been pretty similar to how I would do things normally. It's just the orders are a bit mixed up. I think when I'm by myself and not streaming, usually I'm a bit less organized cuz I don't feel like a time constraint when it comes to like fixing my mistakes. But while I'm streaming, I'm like, I don't want to take up like 10, 15 minutes of your time just for you to watch me struggle on a piece. So, yeah. Okay, let's clean that up. Let's clean this side. I can still see the nub marks, but it will be covered again in paint. So, hopefully, this will look nice. Okay, let's finish this side up with this grit and then move on to the last one so we can finish the legs soonish. I also again did not expect it to take this long just to frigging sand things down, honestly. I mean, maybe I take longer when I'm alone because again, distraction, but I don't realize that I do take this long when I'm sanding the pieces. Hopefully the paint will hide all of these little like nubs, like nub marks that I can't get rid of. So yeah. Honestly, I think we could have stopped at 2000, but I'm gonna go up until 25 just to really go all out on this. Just to make sure it looks perfect, kind of. I wanted to do like a kind of like a pearl finish for this when I first thought of it. But I think I'm gonna go for more of a metallic finish so it'll look more industrial. I'm not sure though, not yet at least. So, still figuring out the color schemes. I'm not sure um how much I want to stick to the original color scheme. Do you guys have any ideas maybe? Cuz like maybe someone will have a great idea on stream. Who knows? Okay, so this is straight looks this way. Then this is this way. Oops. Okay. And then this is here. I did this side wrong the other day when I finished the other leg. Sorry. I did it backwards, so it was like stuck. And I couldn't figure out why up until like a little bit later when I was like, oh wait, okay, yeah. Now I see my mistakes. And it's not going in. Okay, there we go. We have almost a leg. Then we want, is it this? No. No. It's not this. But it's J. Where? Oh, is it the blue one? It is the blue one. Okay, so give me a second. Let me grab it. I thought it was empty, apparently not. So I put the the rest of the runners behind me because they're empty and they'll just take up some space. But apparently this one still has some, so I didn't realize it until just now, because I need it. So hold on, let me fix the angle of the camera. Is it fixed? Yeah, I think this is fixed. Okay. So let's cut this out. I'm not gonna take too much time with this one, sanding it down and stuff. I mean, I don't think I will, in fact. I think this is 11. Maybe like just clean it up with the nippers, because either way it's going to be hidden inside it, so paint will cover it pretty well, I think. Okay, Sorry. Let's find the bottom thing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so it's buried pretty deep in. You won't be able to see the sides where we had to cut the piece off from. So I'm not gonna put too much effort into it. All I'm gonna do is make sure I don't overcut it. So I'm not gonna like sand it down. Since it's not gonna be visible anyways, I don't see the point of putting too much effort into it. So I think, oh, needs to be cleaned up a bit. There we go. Now we need to figure out. So I usually, for these kinds of parts, I just twist it until I find that sweet spot where it would go in. This does take a bit of time though, unless I get really lucky, because I'm not that great with being able to see it and adjust it that way. So yeah, we have the little blue parts in. So, oops. So that's good. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. So let's move on to the next page. And honestly, we're almost done with the whole leg unit. All we need to do after this, up until here, which is the last part that we need to do, we just need to do little knees, like here. So let's do that first. So we're going to need this. I'm assuming, yes, it is this. This is also stuck. Sorry. I think I got a massage the other day, but I'm feeling all stiff again. I think I'm bending, like looking down a little bit too much. So let's cut everything out. Okay, this is 4, so 4 is on this side, then 2. Let's cut everything out. So usually, because this is like something I want to do really neatly, sometimes I would double cut it, but if I'm confident enough, then I don't, which I think was a mistake on this one, because I think I cut it a bit deep. Hopefully I can fix that with a little bit of sanding though, so let's figure it out. Hold on, it's stuck. I hate when I put like the runners together, it gets stuck, but oh well. So let's cut this out, and then B is, it's B, right? Yeah, it's B. So let's cut that. I, where's I? Oh, here it is. Okay, I, oops. Then we need E, which I think is this. Yeah, pretty sure it's this. Okay, we need 10, so it's this one. Okay. I like that this one is all on the edge, so I don't really have to sand it down too much. Like I can just start at 1,000 and be done with it. So I'm gonna sand down this piece first, and then assemble it, and then sand down the pink pieces when they're together, cause that way I'll get a smooth surface on both sides, and then it'll be like, what's it called, connected, the smoothness. So like it won't be like one too deep and one higher than the other. Sorry for my throat. Probably should have had less fried stuff, but fried stuff tastes so good, so it's kind of hard not to eat a lot of it. Okay, so anyways, let's clean all this up. I think I don't need to like cut any extra, so think we can smooth it down with just these few grits. Let's move on. I don't think you do need to do this part for these like sides, but I am really trying to get them as close to perfect as I can. So we will be doing that just for my sake, I guess, because I will know if I sanded it down or not, right? So yeah. Okay, then last one, then this, then this. Okay, so now we're gonna assemble it. It's upside down. Is it? Yeah, this side is the larger side. Is it not? What? I've been having trouble with this since yesterday, cause like it's kind of hard to find the sweet spot, you know? I think this is the way. Upwards like this. Will it get stuck? No? Okay. What the hell? Why won't this go in? Sorry, give me a second. Okay, let me try the other side maybe. This side's stuck better. I don't know what's going on, but I'm dreading doing the full snap. What? Oh, wait. Here? Oh, no, here, right? Okay. And then this one goes here. It won't go in. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then let's snap this in. Hopefully it will snap just like no resistance. I think. Okay. Think it's pretty much. I have to kinda like do that because it's not going in. This PC is kind of stubborn. Okay, let's try to pull it apart. Then push it down, maybe? No, I need to pull it apart even more. But how? It won't go back down. I don't know. Okay, let me try. Maybe that will do it. Not really, but good enough, I guess. It's a bit raised, but I don't know how to like pull it back apart. Because it won't. But it's as low as I can get it, so I guess we'll deal with this like in this way. Sorry. Okay, let's just. Ah! Come on, okay. Let's just clean it up now with this first, and then whatever is still left that we need to clean up, we'll clean up with the sanders. Okay, there we go. I think I'm gonna start with 600 for this because it's a bit more rough. So we're gonna do that. I think sides of this also. So let's clean that up. Smoother. So let's do that. And then this isn't actually a point of there isn't a nub here. It's just I think it's the plastic itself, the way it's printed. Then that it has that like extra going on. So I'm gonna sand that down as well. And then this one, it's a bit stubborn, I think. So let's sand it down a bit more than the rest. And then this with 800. So like honestly, you're not supposed to go back and forth like I am. Like I guess the best way to do it is to just do it one way like this. So the sanding will be quite smooth, but it is a lot faster if you go back and forth. So I'm gonna do that. Here and there, I'm gonna use the more correct technique though. So yeah, just to make sure it looks nice. My main goal is that there's no nubs by the end of it. So I hope we can achieve that at least. So let's clean this up. Make sure it's neat. Make sure most of the nubs are gone, because the next ones are mainly for what's it called? For polishing and buffing. So this one is probably like the last grit that's actually gonna remove too much. So yeah, let's clean it up while we can. Honestly, I'm supposed to already change the foam I'm using for the 1000 grit, but I don't have a replacement yet, so I'm gonna keep using it. It still works anyways, so I don't see why we should throw it away so prematurely, I guess. Since, I mean, if it works, it works. So maybe for my birthday I'll request a new set of sanders to add to the ones that I've already like gone through. But I have a few things I want for my birthday. Few of them I haven't been able to find, so hopefully I can find it soonish. Also, I'm sorry if the uh mic is kind of bad today. I really didn't mean it. It didn't mean for it to be that way. I don't know what changed. I don't know what from the frigging thing changed, but here we are, and something from the settings changed. I don't know how to fix it, so I think this is smooth. I know that you can still see like the stress marks, but since we're painting over this later, that will be a non-issue. So I'm just gonna focus on getting everything really, really nice and smooth instead of getting the whole thing to look really nice and smooth. Sorry. Anyways, let's finish up this one. Let's make sure everything is frigging smooth like a baby's butt. Okay, almost done with this. Honestly, my hands are getting really tired. Okay. Oops. What? my things decided to fall, but it did. So sorry, I have to blow all the like dust off of it. And then almost finishing touches, so let's grab J and E. So this, let's cut the one from E out first because I found it first. It's this. This is E, and then let's do J, which is here. So this is E, and then this is J3. I'm not gonna put too much effort into sanding these as well because these ones are going to be hidden, the nubs, so I'm not gonna worry too much about them. I'll clean them up as best as I can using the nippers, so that's probably as far as we're gonna go with these. Like, I'm probably not gonna sand them down because that's a lot of effort for something you're not gonna see. So yeah, maybe this one I'll sand down a bit, but not starting with 600. So let's start with like 800 maybe, because this one still seems a bit rough. Sorry. So yeah, let's get these little nubs to disappear. Starting with 800, and then we'll go down the line from 1000, and then here as well, 1000, and here 1000, then 1200. I'm not gonna sand them down for too much because also they should fit fairly well. I'm afraid I'm gonna sand them a bit too much because I am the type to get overexcited when sanding things down. So I might sand them down too much just to get it like to not have a nub mark, you know? Which, not great, because I'm gonna sand it down. I mean, I'm gonna paint it anyways, so we're gonna need it to at least just look smooth. I'm afraid I'm gonna oversand it, so we're going to limit ourselves today to only a few times to make sure it's not. I'm gonna keep feeling it so I can make sure it's just smooth and not like, and it's not how it looks, you know, because like you can still see the white stuff, I know, those stress marks, but at least it feels smooth, so that means paint should cover it. Okay, we're almost done with this one, and the last part done. Okay, so since this is kind of like on its own, we can just put it first. I remember this being a little tough to wiggle in. Oh! Sorry. Sorry for that. I got shocked by that sound. I thought I broke something. But we're going to clean this up now with just the nippers, because these aren't gonna be visible to anyone, not even me, when I reassemble it. Maybe gonna cement this down, so like we'll see, because I mean it's gonna be hidden inside anyways. Oh, thank you for the follow. Hello, by the way. So let's put that down. Since it's like pretty deep in, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be visible to anyone, and I'm probably gonna be able to like cement it down if I want to, so I'm not gonna put too much effort into it. And hello! Oh, I like the Charmander stickers. That's cute. And if you didn't know, I'm doing the Qubeley today, the MG, because I have I have been putting this off for too long. So yeah, um, I was doing the Dynamis, but I decided I wanted to finish this one first before I continue with the Dynamis. And hello, welcome. I haven't I haven't seen you in a while, I think. Have I? If I have, then I'm sorry. My brain, I guess, kind of shut it off. I I know I said on Instagram I was gonna work on the Dynamis today, but this project has been ongoing since last year, so we're gonna finish this before I procrastinate any further. Cause also I wanna customize this, so we need this to be like complete soon so I can actually customize it. Because if not, this is just going to be like stuck where it was. I did the other leg, I think 2 nights ago. So, so yeah. That's fair. I was randomly searching for Gunpla and stumbled my way here. Ah, you're a big fan of Gunpla in general. That's nice. I love Gunpla myself. Um, hold on, I need to find that piece. So yeah, I am a big fan of Gunpla as well. That's why I'm working on this one specifically. But honestly, I'm working on this one because I was hoping for this one to be my entry for the Gunpla Builders World Cup slash Championship thing. And I know if it's gonna be announced, it's gonna be announced kind of soon. So I wanna finish up the project that I have in mind. And even then, this is actually already pretty late for that, like for continuing this because I started this last year. So as soon as last year's Gunpla like thing ended, I thought of doing this. So I did up until just the torso and I think the wings, like maybe the hands as well. Yeah. So I got up until the hands. Oh, without the wings. So I got up until the hands and the torso, and then I completely ignored it for so long. So here we are. We're trying to build this really, really quickly to make sure that I can still customize this in time. I can only dream of entering. Oh, why? Why don't you try entering? I actually my first time I entered was last year. So this is only going to be the second time I enter if there's going to be announced. But that's because I got into Gunpla right before COVID hits, I think. Yeah, it was right before COVID hit and I couldn't join the competitions because there were none. So yeah. Uh last year's entry for me, which if you wanted to see that, it's on my Instagram and also on my YouTube. But like, I don't really post to YouTube often. The one I post to often is Instagram. But yeah, so that one I built in like 2 weeks, and it was pretty sloppy. Like, the panel lines were pretty bad, and the color wasn't really what I was hoping for in the beginning. Like, I was hoping for something else, but I ended up doing it that way. But yeah, uh, it was pretty eh, you know, for an entry. So yeah. So why are you unable to join? Is it not a what's it called? Is it not in your area or something? Never feel like my stuff's on that level. Very I had interesting ideas but my techniques aren't great. Ah, I see. So like I think if you want to join, you should just join. Cuz like I feel like a lot of people don't really have that technique anyways, including myself. Like, to be honest, I really don't think that my stuff is that great, especially because comparative to the other people in the competition, I'm pretty sure I'm like one of the noobs. So I just think that if you feel like you want to join, you don't have to worry about your level. Cause I've seen also like people just do like a straight build of an SD and put that in. So that's pretty indicative of the effort put in. Like they didn't even customize it, they just put in an SD that they straight built. So like I think it's fine. Plus you can like make a lot of friends during the events. I found a few friends during the last event and got to talking from there, like cuz I think I was looking confused. So I was at the store near the displays. I was looking kind of confused because I was trying to decide what to buy. So they offered their help. Then we just started talking and we became friends from there. So I think if you want to join just for the sake of joining, like why not, man? It's it's gonna be a great experience, even if it doesn't look the way you had envisioned it or something. But like also, I think it's like a good challenge, cause like doing things that you never really thought you were going to do, but then you want to do because it's going to look cool, it might just end up looking really cool. Like, who knows? And then if you make mistakes, then you get to learn from those mistakes. Because the gunpla that I entered last year, it was full of firsts. I've never had custom panel lines. Like, I've never made custom panel lines. So that was the first Gundam that I actually scribed into. And then I've never really built a diorama. So I built a very simple one, but it was the first time I built any type of diorama. And then that was really fun too. And then like I got to carve styrofoam for the diorama. I've never done that before either. And all of that I did as a first for that competition specifically. So like I don't think you need to worry about being not on that level. Cause I'm pretty damn sure I was not on any level. Like I'm pretty sure that my stuff didn't look good. Like it didn't look great at least. Like I got like conversations started because of it. Like people asking me what I did and stuff. But yeah, it was fun. So like new experiences. You should try. Even if you don't think your stuff is good, some people might think your stuff is better than that. Yeah, you should enter just to experience it. Plus you get a little medal, so like a participation trophy, but like I mean participating is like half the battle anyways, to be honest. Cuz like I know that I'll be like up against so many like amazing builders, but I didn't come to the competition with the mindset that I have to win, cuz I know that I don't stack up. It's like I know my stuff don't look that great, but you know, why not? Experience is valuable, man. Also, you will meet a few people. Maybe those connections will stick. Like maybe they'll become your friends. Cause like I was not expecting to make friends at the event, but that was one of the things that I actually did walk away with. Not only just like experience on how to do the stuff that I did for the first time better. Like I also got some friends out of it. So like that was fun. So you should try it, I think. And maybe next year if you want to do something like full blown customization, cuz like I'm pretty sure this year is going to be like maybe September, October, it's pretty close already. But like give it a shot. And if you do, you can like show me your work on Instagram. I'll respond. I would love to see your work if you do end up joining. So like yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'm pretty sure it'll be fun, especially because like there's gonna be a lot of people that share the same hobby. You get to geek out. Yeah, I would totally love to see your work, even if it's not like even if it's not like a full on custom, even if it's just a straight build. I'd love to see it, cause like again, I think joining those kinds of competitions, like my mindset isn't to really win it, cause I know I probably won't. Knowing that there are a lot of people who's been in the hobby for a lot longer and also with like a lot more experience, so like I don't really come to the events for that. I come to the events for like just the fun of it, I guess. Also to make some friends. Cause who knows, you might meet someone you could call a best friend there. But yeah, cause you can geek out with these people. I think it's great, honestly. Also, usually, I don't know if this is a thing elsewhere, like everywhere else, but when we have the Gunpla Builders World Championship thing here, it's usually coupled with like the Gundam store, so you get to go with your friends and splurge together if you have any friends in the same hobby. Or like last time I brought one of my friends as well, and they weren't really in the hobby, but we ended up looking around and then they got a nice kit as well to like try and see if the hobby is for them. So that was fun. So you can bring your other friends who maybe don't understand this hobby as much as you do, and then you can show them all the cool builds that exist. Like people can actually do this, you know, with this, and then after that, like they might be inclined to join and geek out with you. Who knows? But then again, I am coming like from like a very geeky friendship circle, so my friends might be more inclined to try it out. Okay, so let me figure this out first. I think it's like this, right? Yeah. Okay. How long have you been in the hobby, by the way? Cause like I think I just mentioned it, right? I was it was right before COVID hit that I started like actually. Oh, thanks. It has been a hot minute, hasn't it? But yeah, as I've said before, I didn't really join the hobby up until recently, right? Like compared to everyone else, I guess that I know, I'm pretty frigging new. So like, how long have you been in the hobby? How long has everyone here been in the hobby? Or is there anyone new here? Cause like I think there was once that there was someone like completely new to the hobby and didn't understand much about Gundams here. 3ish years consistently and seriously, but the first time I built something way longer than that. So the first time I built something was literally like 2019. So that was when I started the hobby and built something. Like I've never really touched anything like Gundams or anything similar. Why isn't this sticking? I've never touched anything similar to Gundams either. I don't know why this isn't like. Am I doing this wrong? Oh. Because this is supposed to go in first. Okay. So yeah, I've never done anything like that. Especially I think it was because I'm also like a girl. So my parents didn't really encourage those kinds of toys. So I never really got interested in those. Been about 2 years, yeah. So like it's been it's been a hot minute since I started, I guess. But yeah, so like I've never really started doing this because my parents, like pretty standard Asian parents type, you know, where they don't really encourage girls to play with boys' toys. Although they never really restricted it, they just didn't actively give it to me. Like they didn't actively showed it to me as a choice. So it wasn't really an option, I guess. But I met one of my friends that one of my best friends, and then they showed me Gundam, and then I tried it, and then it's been fun, and ever since I've been pretty hooked. And honestly, if you see my backlog, oh god, I have so many unbuilt Gundams that I don't know what to do with myself. Cause like I am now in at least three expensive hobbies. Like even if it's not expensive, it's like time consuming hobbies, to be honest. Like one of them is Gundam, uh clearly. And then another one, if you don't know me or like my stuff yet, another one is Warhammer. So if you don't know what Warhammer is, they're like little miniatures for tabletop gaming. It's one of my biggest, most expensive and most time consuming hobbies right now, but honestly so far it's been pretty worth it. And then the last one I only got into really recently. I really like cosplaying, so for now I haven't really built any of my cosplay from scratch, but I am working towards that as a goal. So there's that. So yeah, I've actually, and like on the note of competitions, right? Um, I actually joined a cosplay competition as Jinx the other like month, I think 2 months ago, and I've never joined a competition for cosplay before, and um, I've never really done anything that's on stage. So like going up on stage and then doing all the crazy poses and stuff, especially because I was Jinx, right? So Jinx does a lot of crazy person looking poses, right? So doing that was never really planned, I guess. I My friend was there and he was emceeing, and when we passed by he was like, "Hey, by the way, are you joining the competition?" And I had no intention of joining, but I don't know why. I was going to decline and be like, "Nah, I'm going home in a bit." But then I I told him that I was going to join because there were still slots. And then I ended up actually signing up and joining. So that was the very first cosplay competition that I decided to join. It was my third cosplay in total. So I've only done two other cosplays up until that point. So my first one was Yor, Yor Forger from Spy X Family, and that one I mixed kind of with Anya. So I had pink hair at that time, so I decided not to wear a wig, just wear the dress, have my pink hair showing, and then mm, I knitted two cones for Anya's hair. So I did that, and after that one, I got Shizuku from My Dress Up Darling, and that was my my very second cosplay. And then after that, I decided I was gonna cosplay one of my favorite characters like ever, and that was Jinx from League of Legends. So that that one was also my debut as Jinx. I've never worn that cosplay outside before. So it was the third time I cosplayed in public and also the third cosplay that I have in general. So I was really not planning to join the competition because I was not ready, like mentally and physically. I don't think I was ready. There were a lot of really cool cosplays that I know would probably beat mine, but somehow I did place. So that was a really cool experience. So like goes to show you, I guess, like even if you don't think you're doing great, people might think you are doing great. Even if you don't think that you're doing like the best and that you're probably like bottom place, there people's opinions might differ, you know? Just like the cosplay competition, cuz like I really was not expecting to even join the competition. I had no routine prepared. Everything was like on the spot for me because I don't know, I've never done this before and I've never actually seen anyone do a cos walk anyways. So I was like pretty unprepared. I was as unprepared goes. But yeah, if you enjoy yourself, if you enjoy doing what you're doing, people will see that and like who knows? Although like for GBWS that's like a bigger thing, right? So like I'm not saying you should expect to place, but there will be people who appreciate your work more than you know, is what I'm saying. Cuz I didn't think my work was all that great to be honest, but I did get a lot of compliments on it. So well, from what I can tell, if the official website is correct, the website was launched for my country, but no mention of accepting entries. Ah, so mine isn't either. I think not yet, cause I haven't heard it be announced. So I think it is supposed to be like later if it is going to be announced. I'm just preparing, making sure that I get what's it called. I do have something if there is a competition. Cause I don't think I'll have a lot of time to do it. Yeah, you're welcome. You should be amped up. If you think you want to join, you should. it's fun and it's an experience, even if you don't win. You know, I feel like I feel like I'm one of the only people that could say that you should just join it for the fun, because like I used to really hate competition anyways, cuz like the before this I was I was a TCG, like I compete for TCGs. So I think mainly it was Pokemon, and I hated competition. Like I hated going to competitions because it would make me all queasy, cuz I have like anxiety when it comes to that, and it's just not fun when when you're stressed out and then you have stomach aches during the competition, you know. But after that, I think I got more courage to join other types of competitions. Although right now I'm not really into TCG anymore, cause it's just way too much, too many hobbies. Like I've got no money to to keep all of my hobbies up. I just realized must be a special build, because I don't know if I've seen you take the time to sand. That's true. I don't take the time to sand. So like this is a very special build, because not only is this the Qubeley MG, which if you didn't know is my favorite Gundam. The Qubeley is my favorite. But also I am hoping for this to be my entry if there is a Gunpla Builders World Cup. So I'm hoping for it to look decent. Not great, just decent. Cause I don't think I'm gonna do like anything crazy. Like last year was a lot of customizations. So I think this one I'm gonna keep it more simple. I think the customs are gonna be mainly like, what's it called? Panel lines, maybe adding a little bit of plot plates or something, and then changing the paint color. That's one of them. So yeah, I really I really don't think I'm gonna go like overboard with customing this, because I want it I want the original build to really like shine. So maybe here and there's gonna be a little bit. Last year was the, oh yes. Oh, you like that one? That's nice. That's great. That's good to hear. I'm glad you liked it. Cause like I can't say I'm disappointed in it. It was my first, so I really liked how it turned out for something that was like the first thing I've ever done for a competition. Like I think that was the first time I did a lot of things to a Gundam that wasn't like completely a straight build. So I was really nervous about it, and then I only had like 2 weeks to do everything. So I was really paranoid that it wouldn't turn out like at all. But I managed to crumple that together, so I was really proud of it. Like looking at it after like all that um all that time and like has passed from the competition, I mean, after all that time, I'm starting to see the flaws, because like I'm looking at it up close, right? But yeah, I hope that this time it's gonna look better with less flaws, because I know better how to do things now. Cause like especially like for the panel lines, last time was pretty bad because it was the first time, and I didn't have the proper tools to do that with. So I did it with an X-Acto knife and a cutter, and that was not. I don't think it's the best. And then after that, because it wasn't like, what's it called, wide enough. Yeah, it wasn't wide enough. So I ended up using a chisel, and then it made the inside very like jagged, like very messy. So it wasn't great. So yeah, hopefully if when I actually will panel line this, so like when I do panel line this one, hopefully it'll look a lot better than that one. But yeah, so there's that. Hopefully it'll look nice. Hopefully this the color scheme I have in mind to replace the blue mainly will turn out, because I really don't like that like random splash of blue on the Qubeley, to be honest. Like, it's not my thing. I don't know why they decided it should be blue, but yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what colors I will end up liking. Because I haven't really gone to look at the colors available for me. So hopefully it'll look nice. And I'm gonna try out my new airbrush with this build. So hopefully it looks, I mean, it goes well. Because I don't know how the new airbrush will work or if it'll work well. So hopefully it'll all work out. So yeah. I know it's like a lot of hoping though for like for this build, but like I mean I did a lot of hoping for last year's entry as well. Like I hope that it turns out and then it did. So like hopefully that strategy will work again this year. This is I think the first time I've decided to build an MG so what's it called? So lovingly with all the sanding because even last year's build I didn't really sand it that much. Honestly, I just cleaned it up with a penknife mainly. It was still smooth, but you know, it would have been better if I did use sanders, but I don't know, I didn't have time. So yeah. I mean, I always feel starting with an idea and just figuring out how to get it going. Yeah. So I think for kit bashing especially, I've never done that before. I was going to kit bash for my very first entry for the Gunpla Builders World Cup, but that ended up I think being a bit too ambitious because I ended up running out of time. So that's why I only had 2 weeks to finish my though. But yeah, um, I was I was thinking of kit bashing for this year as well, but since I think it's better to go with like an MG, I don't really want to kit bash it just yet. Like I want to be able to make something that looks great on its own first, like really clean and neat on its own before I kit bash anything. Like I guess a personal achievement thing. But yeah, um, I think for me, when I start with an idea, I do just end up going with the flow. So I agree with that. Cause like I don't think everything will work out the way you plan it. Unless like you've done it like a million times and you know how exactly each step is going to help turn out. But since I've never done it, usually there's like hiccups along the way and I have to figure it out along the way. So there's that. And yeah, I think even the O, to be honest, that was very go with the flow build because I didn't know what I was doing. So if it turned out that way, then it turned out that way. But yeah, it is all trial and error for me too. Cause like I try to get it as close to my idea as possible, right? And then it's like it doesn't work out. So then we're like, okay, I guess we'll have to shift gears and then try this, you know. But I try to get as close as possible to my original plan. I don't know about you though. Usually I find a nice sharp nipper like the DSPI 3.0. A glass file is usually enough for cleanup. Yeah, glass files are great. Hold on, why isn't this going in by the way? Oh, no? What? Is it upside down maybe? No? It's not. This is supposed to be how it goes in. Think? Okay, I think it's just a bit off. It's a bit off center, this one. I don't know if that's my fault or if it's just the thing. I think it's just this. Because I can't push it any further. Okay. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me figure this out. I I do build Gundams very trial and error as well, to be honest. Because sometimes they don't fit the way I think they should, so it looks weird to me. But yeah, I usually end up with what I thought of, maybe with a slight difference. I've done enough to know how to force things to fit and work. A lot of super glue. So for me, I think my thing is like, oh right, back to the cleanup first. I do have a glass file and I do think it is perfect for like cleaning up, but why does this fall? Okay, but like when it comes to something like I'm really putting effort into, I clean up like with my whole heart. So like I do like the whole shebang, like from 600 to 2500 grit at least, because I don't know, because if I'm gonna put an effort, I'm not gonna like just do the like minimum effort with like a glass file and a nipper, even though it might probably like produce a good enough result, or like the same result as like sanding, which like I guess similar enough, just not as polished, right? It's just, I don't know, I feel like if I'm gonna give it my effort, I'm gonna give it all of my effort. Why why won't this go in any further? I have questions. It's on that side that has an issue, and I don't know why. I don't know how to fix it. Okay. Okay, let's take this off first. Yeah, I don't know what's going on and why it won't go in any further. What the hell? Okay. Let's try this side then. I think it's I think this side is a bit messed up, because I can't push this in any further. I don't know why. I think need to file it down maybe. I don't know why it won't let it in. It's not okay. That's not going in either though. It is on one side, just not the top. I don't know what's wrong with this. Ah. Okay, give me a second. Let me grab that. Um, right. Back to the chat. With the slight difference, mine usually ends up with a huge difference because I'm a very impulsive person. So if I think something will work, then that's what we're going with, even if it's not according to plan. Although I am also very much a perfectionist, so I tend to try and find a common ground on that part, I guess. I tend to find where my perfectionist side would be happy, but also um, is pretty, like, the idea would be pretty spontaneous when it comes to it. So I guess there's that. Like, I guess there's something about me. So yeah. You probably get this question a lot, but what was your favorite build so far? What is my favorite build so far? I think I've built a lot of things, and my favorite, um, the way it looks, my favorite gunpla would be like the clear gunplas. So I am a very big advocate of collecting clear limited edition gunplas. I love them with all my heart, even though they're harder to clean up. They're a lot harder to clean up, but I love those so much. Like, I love the way it looks. For the for the gunpla itself, like the mech itself, I love the Qubeley the most. So, oh no. So, oh no. Oh crap. I collect the Qubeley, so I have a lot of Qubeleys. I'm gonna try to do this without all the other thingies and see if it fits. Sorry, I'm gonna have to do this like off screen, but it's not going any further, which it should, is the thing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to fix it. Hold on. I think I might just do this here, cuz that's already messed up. I think I might need to like clean up the inside, but I don't know how, cuz I don't know how much I need to take off. I'm scared of taking off too much. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here and there, but because this build is not going the way it's supposed to, so I don't know what's going on here that it doesn't want that it doesn't allow me to stick in the PC that's made for this. Okay, let's try that again, I guess. Still, it won't let me get any further. But I don't know where the issue lies, because it looks the same as the other side. Okay, you know what? I'll figure this out later, I think. So, let's just leave it first. Let's do the little kneecaps first, maybe. That's the only thing that's left from this build that I need done. So let's do that. Where was I? Alright, my favorite build. What was my favorite build? I feel like I've answered this question, but my answer might have changed from then because it's been a while, I think, since someone asked me this. I am not sure what my favorite build is because I think I've just built way too much. What, yeah? My most memorable build, I think, it was one of the very first Gundams I've built. So it's the Qubeley, the Diaochan version, which is an SD. So it's that one. So that was my most memorable build, and one of my favorite SDs. My newest favorite SD would be like the Qubeley masked version, the Cleopatra one. The actual best build though, I'm sorry if like I'm disappearing because like I'm looking at my little display case. What is the best build? I think my best build experience would definitely not be an RG. I think, oh, one of my best build experiences because I love the way it turned out, and I think I did put in a lot of effort into it, and then it looks pretty good by the end of it. And it was like one of the earlier, like one of the builds that I did earlier before, like before COVID. I'm pretty sure I did this build. So it was when I was still like really starting out. It's the Bear Guy Pretty. So that one turned out really well. I think I put in a lot of effort into it. I really liked the way it turned out as well. Like, I did sand it down a lot. I didn't have like this amount of sanders back then. Like, I don't have this amount of papers back then. Um, I think I did it with. Oh yeah, I did. So I did it with a nail buffer, and that was. I didn't like sanding it down, but I love the way it looks after I did it, so I kept doing it. So yeah, that one I think would be one of my most best build experiences, like one of the better build experiences. I think if you ask me about like better build experiences, it will always be something kind of simple because I like that I don't have to really think too much about it. But if you ask me about which mechas I like the best, it's probably not gonna be a simple one because I don't know why, but I like complicated. I like details. So if you ask me what my favorite grade is, I'd probably answer RG because I love the amount of details that they put into an RG. I I've never built a PG, so that's why it's not my answer because I can't give a a clear answer because I've never touched it before. So, yeah. I do love complicated. So, if it is as complicated as I think it is or it will be, then I think PGs will be the ones that I love the most. But considering I've never touched one, I won't be able to give you like a definite answer on that. So for now, it's the RGs because I love complicated for some reason. I don't know. I like making my life more difficult, I guess. But yeah, I guess that's my answer. Not sure if that answered it for you, but I think it did, right? It should, right? I think I elaborated a lot more than I should have, in fact. But yeah, I don't have many clear kits or UC Gunpla, but I definitely see the appeal. Yeah, so the clear kits for me, the appeal is just that I could see the mechanics inside, and then also I don't know, maybe it's like something about clear stuff. I've always loved anything that's clear. I love being able to see through it and see stuff behind it. Like I think it's just really cool. I just I just don't really have a lot of clear things because it was not considered as cool, I guess. It's considered pretty cringe, right? I think back in the 2012s, it was when it was like kind of cringy, but that was when I was like, oh, there's clear stuff that looks really cool, you know. But yeah, um, the the Gundam, the clear Gundam that I think so far looks the best is the Sazabi. Yeah, this Sazabi RG. It looks really cool. I don't know. I don't know about the rest. I mean, like, but I think for now, that's my favorite clear kit. I think that's going to stand until I get the clear Alfred because I haven't seen it anywhere, nor do I think I'll see it anytime soon. But I'm a big fan of the Alfred. It is it is really nice. So I think my favorite gun plus will be like the girlier types, the pretty ones, the more feminine looking ones. I love the Alfreds a lot. It looks really nice. It does look pretty feminine. So like I like the way it looks a lot. But yeah. What else? What was I thinking? Oh, so I was going to do the Dynamis today, right? If you guys just joined or something. But I was gonna do the Dynamis today and I kind of postponed it because I decided I was going to do this one first. Oops. Oh, it's just the sanding. So this is the Dynamis that I was working on last week, and I'm gonna continue on next week because yeah, I'm gonna finish the Qubeley today. So I had an issue with this rubber thing that I haven't fixed, so I'll be fixing that later. But yeah, most of my kits are clear. I think. I think if you see my collection, most of them are clear, like this. So this one came in a box of 5. It's the Mobile Suit Gundam Double O first season MS set. So this one's from the first season. I have both the first season and the second season, so I have 2 boxes, each 5 5 HG Gundam, clear HG Gundams. So those are my ongoing projects at the moment. So yeah. I have a visceral need for the clear RG Suzabi to go with my clear new Gundam. Yeah! So, okay. I've been dying to build this, right? So if you didn't know, I built the clear MG for High New. Yeah, the High New Gundam, the heavy weapons one. And it was the Expo version, so it's just completely clear, it has no color. And it is one of my most, like, it is one of my pride and joy, although there's a crack at the back which makes me a bit sad. But I don't know where the crack came from. I think it dropped, but yeah, there's a crack at the back on one of the tubes, and it makes me sad. But I have the Zazabi, the Expo version, the clear color as well, so I'm dying to put that one together so I can have both of them displayed together. But I don't have the clear RG High New or anything, so I am gonna wait patiently for that. Yeah. So I'm going to have 2 of them like displayed with um with an acrylic box maybe later. But yeah, I'm excited about that. But I haven't had the time to build it. The one that I really, really, really want to build next though is the MGSD because I haven't had the time to build it. And I was so excited when it came out. I looked for it everywhere, and when I found it, I just no thoughts, just bought it. Like I was like, take my money. But I haven't touched it. I wish I did. Like I wish I started, but I haven't because I had no time, and I've been sick quite often lately. It's like I haven't had time to do it, and I'm a bit sad not thinking about it honestly. Because it's also like one of the cooler Gundams too. Is like the Strike Freedom, right? If I'm wrong, was it the Strike Freedom? Yeah, this is Strike Freedom. It's so cool. Regular RG High New was an awesome build. Really? I don't think I have it actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, do I have it? I don't think I have it. I think the ones that I do have, they're they're either because they're clear and I thought it was cool, or it was because it's cute. So I don't really buy Gundams for cool. I buy them for cute, which is it's kind of weird, isn't it? Like Gundams don't scream cute to me. They seem cool. They scream cool. So I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. But yeah. Oh. I got this. I don't know when. Oh, I can't take it off. I glued it down. Well, not glued it. I glue tacked it down. I bought the Haro change unit. I don't know if it's something you guys have seen, but it's like a it's not something you build. It's like a little action figure that can change into a little Haro ball. It looks really cute. So I got sorry. So I got that. It was and it's just standing next to my PC because it's really cute. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just it's adorable. It's like it's so cute. I don't know if I can show you. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. My table is a mess though, so like be warned, cause I've been using it for like builds and stuff and painting. Ah, there we go. That thing. So it's this thing. It can turn into back into a Haro ball if you fold everything up. I display it like this because it's cuter. I don't know. I like it. Maybe next time I'll display it like this. It's cute. But yeah, also other kits that I think are cute are these three little guys over here. Also, if you didn't know, these are Warhammer miniatures. These are unpainted and unprimed because we're not there yet. But yeah, so these I thought was really cute and I splurged a lot on them. They were really expensive because I had to get them from Korea, and I got them because one of my friends from work was actually going to Korea, so they 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 asked if we want to like get something, and we could like ask them to get it for us and then they'd bring it back. So yeah, there's that. That was fun. I got all three because it's so cute. Oh, let me show you. Oh, it's not this one. It's the middle one that has the thing that I want to show you. It has a butt on the back of its face. S See? This is a face. That's the butt. Also, if you didn't know, this character is Little Peach. It's a Kakao friend from Kakao Talks, which is the messenger app for like the main messenger app for like Koreans, I think. So that's why they have these, because this is their like one of their mascots. I have another one, another set, another trio set, of the Kakao friend Ryan, which is a bear. So I've got the Kakao friend sets because they're really cute. So yeah, my main reason for buying model kits is because they're adorable. So yeah, don't know if there's a clear version yet. I know it has a titanium finish version, for the high new, right? I also don't know if there's a clear version, but if there is, I'm going to buy it. Like maybe not soon, but like I'm going to buy it, cause like I need it to complement my Suzabi. Which like I guess the funny thing about that is that I've never actually watched the series, but I know that they're rivals, was it? Because my friend told me. But like I have never watched the series. I think it's because it's an older series, so I don't really watch it. But for Gundam series, honestly, um, it's not just Gundam. See, honestly, it's everything. I'm not a big fan of old media, like movies or animations that are a bit older, because I don't like the style of animation. I don't like the, what's it called, the art style. So I end up not watching it because I don't know, maybe because I'm a visual person, right? As a like I'm also an illustrator for like some stuff, like not professionally, but like I can draw. And like I don't know, if it doesn't fit my style, it makes it hard for me to watch it. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a nitpicky thing. And like I feel bad because I want to watch it because I know the storyline's pretty good. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the older anime styles, so there's that. So I haven't watched them. But I do know here and there about the stuff. So I'm not the most updated with Gundam lore, by the way. If you guys want any like Gundam lore, you're at the wrong place. But I can tell you I am very updated with the new Gundam series, The Witch from Mercury, because also Miorine is best girl for me. I love her so much. And I cosplayed Miorine not too long ago. I still have the pictures in my laptop. I just haven't frigging put them up on my truck tier because I didn't have time to edit them because I keep getting sick and I'm also like busy all the time. So I'm hoping to finish the editing soon, but I keep saying that, but I haven't had the time to do so. So yeah, hopefully we'll get there soon. We can finish the editing soon. I mean, and then I can put them up on Traktir so you guys can get them. Or like if you want them, you guys can DM me. But like, yeah. I saw a Figu Arts mini of Miorine on in my like local hobby store, but I couldn't buy it because there weren't any like ready boxes. Also like it's a pre-order item that I didn't I didn't pre-order because I didn't know it existed. I was so sad because I was like, I want a Figu Arts mini of Miorine. That would be so nice. That would be so amazing. But I guess fate is kind of cruel. Anyways, yeah, time does get away from all of us, doesn't it? Time always flies by like really quickly or like really slowly depending on what you're doing. If you're doing like something like a hobby, it goes by real quick. But if you're doing something like work, time just never ends. It's like, why am I still working? Why is it still 1 o'clock? Why is it still 10 o'clock in the morning? I thought it's already like 5. But yeah, time is weird. I feel like time is really weird because it really does get affected by what it is exactly you're doing, which I think is kind of cool. Cause like I've never really understood why time seems to flow differently, especially like when you're doing work. Like I wish it would end faster or something like that. But then you look at the clock, it's only been 5 minutes. It's like I don't know, it feels weird. Is that just me? Or like I don't know, it feels weird, right? It's not just me, right? So I'm sorry that I'm taking a lot of like time just sanding these down. But I do want them to be as perfect as possible. So here we are. I have 3 painting projects I want to get done, but no time. I know how you feel. Like I've I've started Morathi from Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and I haven't finished it. It's been like 2 days, but like I haven't like constantly like painted it, right? I've only spent like how many hours each time. So I get why it's not completed, but I want to see it done because I think it'll look really cool. I also want to start the next one because I now have a color scheme that I want for my next painting project. So I'm hoping to get that done soon. But yeah, I'm knee deep in projects as well. It's just that there are a few things like I think there's a project for each of my hobbies because like I need to buy some materials for my cosplay, because I have my next cosplan ready, but I haven't finished editing my photos, but I also haven't finished making props for my next cosplan. So hopefully you guys will keep an eye out for that, because I hope it's coming soon. Hopefully there's going to be an event soon that I can go to after the prop is done. But yeah, so I have that already ready, and like I'm really excited to wear it out. And then for Gundam, I have this specific project going on, right? And then for Warhammer, I have my Morathi. I'm painting the centerpiece, so that's a project in itself. So yeah, hopefully everything goes well, and all the projects will turn out at least decent. But yeah, if you guys want to take a peek at my project, or anything that's going on, honestly, I update my Instagram at least once a week, so you guys can go there and check out what it is my newest whip, because I have whips like all the time. And then I also announce when I'll be streaming, so if you guys want to catch like a stream and work on something with me, that's also where you're going to get most of your information. So my Instagram is honestly the one I'm most active in. Right now my YouTube is mainly for like VODs. This won't stick. For VODs. And my Facebook is less active than my Instagram. And also it is harder to find for some reason. Like I can't even search myself up. Like I can't find my own Facebook account, which is weird. But yeah. So if you guys want to find me, you should find me on Instagram. That's where it's like the easiest to stalk me, to be honest. Let's put the knee together. Okay, I want to put the other knee on, but if you were here earlier, we had issues putting this part on, so we're not gonna do that. So yeah. You followed. Okay. I'll follow you back after this when I'm done with this. I'm also looking forward to your future projects. Hopefully you'll make up your mind and join your Gunpla Builders World Championship, so that like we can we can see what you come up with. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully you do end up doing that, cuz I think it'll be fun. But also, let me change the scene first. So, I'm sorry for like the kind of like mess behind me. I have a lot of stuffies. Anyways, we did this already. So this is the MG. I know there's one leg missing, but we haven't been able to connect this piece. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about this, but I'll figure it out like now. But yeah. So we have the Qubeley MG, and I've been like brainstorming. Sorry. Using this guy. So this is the HG. The MG is like so much bigger, and I didn't realize it until I actually built it. So I was like, damn, that's really big. But yeah, so I've been using this guy as like a reference of what I want this to look like later. Like I didn't actually draw on it or anything, and I didn't panline it. This is just the base like Qubeley. But now I have one big Qubeley and one small Qubeley. So yeah, hopefully this project will turn out really really nice, and it will look pretty. I think that's like my only goal, honestly. I just want it to look really good, that I want to display it in my house. But yeah, this is basically our most pressing project, I guess. Sorry, that took me a while to process my own words. But like yeah, this is my most pressing project. Next week we'll continue the Dynamis. Hopefully it'll be fixed by then, because I have a lot of things to fix apparently. So yeah, next week we'll continue with the Dynamis. Hello! Welcome! I am just about to end my stream though. We finished this guy, which is the Qubeley. If you weren't here, we finished this guy, the MG Qubeley. The other leg is missing because I can't put this part together. I'm having issues with the PC connecting to this PC connecting to this piece, so I'm gonna figure it out now. So yeah, this has been that, I guess, like the stream is basically that. And I'm glad that you guys stuck with me for like the 2 hours that I was basically just sanding the whole piece down. But yeah, hopefully you guys will keep up with me, and hopefully I'll see you guys again like next week when I stream. We'll do the Dynamis together, and you guys can do something that you guys have been wanting to do, or like continue the projects that you guys are doing with me. So yeah, I hope to see you here next time, or like I hope to see you guys in my Instagram. So I guess I'll see you guys next week, and or if not, then I hope I'll see you guys after this on Instagram. But yeah, um, I'll follow you back on Instagram, and yeah, take care to all of you as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.